Now they are in physiotherapy department going for physiotherapy because the back really, those are some of the hazards, challenges they have got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you experienced some of these challenges as well?
Yes.
Are you also in physiotherapy?
I'm not there as such, but at times you feel, you know, you can do your own work at home and you feel really it is not the same. Like, I know, yes, we are growing, also aging, but that contributed a lot.
That contributed.
That kind of bed, we needed a bed where everybody would just, you know, suture when you are at that level, not bending so much down. So it has affected most of our midwives.
Okay.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So the scope of work, like you've said, was quite extensive and strenuous. How has this affected midwives, their mental health? How has it impacted the mental health of some of these midwives?
Thank you. I'll not talk about only midwives. I'll talk about all ladies in health.
Yes.
They have suffered because of the key thing is the biggest challenge is being a mother and being a health worker.
That, yes, you're expected to be on duty at work,
but
and
you're a
on
mother
duty at home,
and you're a mother at the
as a
same
mother.
time. Because I remember in 2000 I gave birth to a baby girl whom I could go with for night duty. However, the environment in the hospital is not the best environment where you go with a healthy baby to the sick patients. That's challenge number one. Managing the husbands is not easy at the same time when you are working. And the nature of work in health is 24 hours.
That's true.
During the day, during the evening, during the night, you are on duty. So sometimes the gentlemen need that care, and when you are away, more especially during the night, there are so many questions, not only your husband, but even the family members. So-and-so's wife is never at home. She sleeps out. The public takes it as you are sleeping out. How do you leave your house at 6 and come back in the morning? And your wife, you are a health worker. Mentally, sometimes some health workers get that personal attach to the clients, to the patients. If the patient has a problem, it impacts on you. I remember there's some time when they could not put a pregnant midwife in labor ward. Because most of the time when you are instructing the mother to push, you are also pushing, by the way.
Really?
Somehow.
Okay.
When you say push, you also start
pushing.
Yes.
And this is happening without you even noticing that you're doing it.
Exactly. It's like when you are driving. There's that thing when the car is passing by the car and you are like this, but you are inside the car.
That's true.
Those are things which come without you noticing. So just imagine like these mothers who like get disturbed in labor ward or after delivery. In my language, it is called a makiro. That is it epilepsy? No, not epilepsy. Eclampsia.
Yes. Eclampsia, yes.
So imagine the person working on this lady. There is a midwife, there is the nurse, there is the lady doctor. There is that attachment you get. When you get so many, it impacts also on you mentally.
It starts weighing you down mentally.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the burnout.
The burnout.
The numbers of health workers today is going down, but the clients are going up. I don't know what the ratio is right now, but it's far weighing down the health workers.
So what you're saying is that in as much as we have evolved in different ways in the health sector, the numbers of health workers are still going down.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Have people lost interest in becoming midwives, doctors, basically health personnel? Are they now favoring other sectors vis-a-vis medicine?
The government is really taking care of us, and recently everyone who sees us thinks that we are loaded with money.
You have money.
The sciences
you have money.
Brought in problem that they gave us a lot of money. However, the economy is a bit not in tandem with the pay we have. So people tend to go for greener pastures.
Ah.
Two, there is this World Bank issue which came up of not recruiting.
Yes, there was a suspension, a temporary suspension on recruitment.
Yes, on recruitment.
Yes.
So people are graduating, but they are not being recruited to work. The numbers are there.
That was, however, recently, at least according to reports that came in last week, lifted, and the Ministry of Public Service had issued a directive to hospital superintendents to hire the interns, the nurses that were on the bench waiting to be recruited. Do you think that if this is done, it will help take down the numbers, the strenuous, the strain? I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that one person can deliver 30 babies in one day. So do you think further recruitment might help?
Yeah, it will be very important. First of all, we have gotten many who have retired. Some of them have died, not replaced. There is a lot of gap. So recruitment will help to some extent. But
what else might help?
Yeah, you know, when they are recruited, yes, the ones who are on the ground, still depending, because it is not only within, you know, the urban, even in the rural areas. I know it will cut across. Yes, still the number, we still have a big number. We also encourage that other lower facilities should be really, you know, well equipped to also handle this big load. The number of patients, leave alone just midwives, I mean the mothers who come to deliver, even ordinary patients. We have a big number, especially in the hospitals. It's always full. So we also pray that even lower facilities where they can handle the minor problem, it should be handled from there. Like we have L Center 2, we have L Center 3, then L Center 4. Some of those things should be handled there, where this minor malaria and where they should not all come to the hospital and the referral hospital and the line, and the number is overwhelming. Because even of recent we're talking about the drugs. They say we run short of drugs very fast because of the number, the high number. But you find some other areas, they have few clients.
And they have the drugs sitting.
And they have the drugs sitting, and the drugs may expire. But here, people don't have. So that's what we are advocating. Let all the levels work. And we are also advocating for kind of, when the drugs are not used, it should be redistributed to other areas to help. So it's not just a matter of working, yes, but even, are we giving the quality service? Are we giving everything which is needed when somebody leaves their home and comes and need to do some investigation and should get drugs? Are we really fulfilling? When somebody come to the hospital, somebody should go back in a better state, happy, like should be convinced that he has been helped, but not going in that state like the way he or she came. So we should be trying to satisfy our clients, do our best, and make sure we have everything which is needed in the facility.
I like that you speak about satisfying clients. When you have conversations with different people that have gone to different health centers, this could be private or even public, there are a few complaints that come through regarding the attitude of some of the young people that are working as nurses serving patients vis-a-vis the older people that have been here for a long time. Actually, some patients prefer, for instance, a lady coming to give birth, they would prefer to have maybe Miss Cassidy or Miss Alum help them deliver their baby because they do not trust the attitude of the young nurses, but also the experience. What would you say to a person like that? How do you make them believe that in as much as this person could have been a nurse for like a year or two, they actually can do a good job, even maybe better than I that has done this for 20 years?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, normally these staffs, when they were at school, they were trained. Most of these take 2 years, some of them take 3 years, depending on the cadre. They are trained, and when we pass them out, we know they are really, they
They're
know what they are
ready.
doing. I remember even me when I was still young, some of the clients, especially the men, I remember when I was told to pass a catheter on an old man, the man was like, this is like
My daughter.
my daughter, you cannot see me naked. But I worked on her, on him, and he was so appreciative. He said, yes, I was fearing. I counseled him. I told him, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to help you. Just leave that aside. Don't even think about the other side, but I'm here for you. So these nurses who have just qualified, we have tried to groom them. And those ones who really work, who now come to work. First of all, during this training, we expose them to clients. We take them to the hospital and we supervise them in the clinical area. So when we pass them out, they already know what they are doing. And before they even do a procedure, we are sure they are going to do the perfect thing. And still with nurses and midwives, we work as a team. Whenever there is any challenge, the person can consult. But our nurses are always, when they are qualified, they know what they are doing. That's what I can say.
All right. Now, I know that in as much as we are celebrating Women's Day this week, and of course all through the month of March, where in May, that is May 5th and May 12th, we will be celebrating the International Day of the Midwife and the International Day of the Nurse. What key reflections must we take away from as we head towards those days? When it comes now, our main focus, I want us to look at the nurses and the midwives, what the key achievements in nursing, and of course the challenges that should be addressed going forward.
Thank you so much. To me, I think the nurse for tomorrow should be seen today in nursery school. As opposed to saying that results have come back, you have not qualified for medicine, okay, you do nursing.
Oh, that happens in nursing as well.
Of course,
I knew
when
it
they
in
do,
teaching where someone...
When the cutoff for medicine has stopped, then they keep
Send them
pushing
to
down
nursing.
to nursing. Yes. So we need to prepare the nurse from as early as 2 years, so that you grow up with a passion. You see how the sportsmen do?
Yes.
They start taking the child to the sports academy, and they have the passion for the game. They get the game spirit.
Some of them, they didn't even have the passion, but the parent had an idea of
But
what
the
they want the
grooming
child to do, and they
started,
started grooming
they
them.
groom
Yes.
from down
Okay.
when you are still young. Today, when you go and move around in the communities and you ask a child like in Pifo, what do you want to be? Some of them, they don't know. Others will say, I want to be a lawyer, doctor, engineer, full stop.
Basics.
The
the four basic
And
ones.
they even don't know what it takes to become an engineer, a doctor, or
A lawyer.
They only know 3 professions. They don't even talk about teacher.
No, they don't.
And you see so many training institutions, they take a teacher when results have come back. That's
After
when the decision
everything has
comes
failed.
back. But you find that, oh, are you in education? Did you really love education from the word go? They say no. But things came out, I had to find how to fit in the community, and those things come in. I joined nursing because of this and this and this, but my passion was this. So that attitude of coming when you are like, this was not mine. I think even if you train the skills of how to deliver, how to look after a patient, when internally you are still wanting to be a lawyer, to be an engineer, whenever you are in a hard situation, you say, after all, this was not mine.
So now that contributes to some of the attitudes we see among young nurses and how they treat the patients. And
others, later, they pick up. Then, to come to the point of International Nurses Day, International Midwifery Day. We are calling upon all nurses and midwives to be part of it. That is when you meet and share the challenges. How did you overcome this? I did this and I overcame this. Usually it's a week. Midwifery week, nursing week. So we take time to, like, mentally to refresh, to come back to ourselves. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. So I'm calling upon all nurses, all midwives to join both celebrations, because they are not together, they are part away.
Yes, they are part away.
So some of them are saying, me, when I go for the midwifery day, I'll not go for the nurses day. But we are urging you, please come and attend both.
Okay, and that will be in May, but we thought we could mention that in as much as this is Women's Week.
But so, for May, for the Nurses Day, the days are clashing with census.
Yes.
It has been shifted. After the census, then we shall celebrate the Nurses Day.
So the dates have changed.
Yes.
Do you know the new dates?
Is it 17th, something like that?
Okay.
Yes, around that.
Okay. So still looking back at nursing, how would you say it has evolved over the years from maybe, let's look at maybe in the 80s. I don't think you were a nurse then. No. I can tell. But still, I'm sure you have knowledge of the same. So how do you think nursing has evolved from all across the years to where we are today?
It has evolved so much. In a way, I remember sometime one would go to take a pulse. Taking a pulse, you are literally measuring the heartbeat.
Yes.
And they used to use something they call a pulsometer. It is a glass thing. It has something like sand. So it has it is like an 8. So you turn it, like flip it, but then the sand goes slowly seeping down. When
like
it stops,
that timer.
When it stops, you stop. Then the temperature, we used to have these mercury things you do like this.
I remember
until it goes back, and then you fix it here,
yes.
And then
you wait.
You take that thing to 100 patients, 70. After patient, you are like this. But today, everything can be done in 5 minutes. You are taking the BP, you are taking the heart rate, you are taking oxygen saturation. Their new innovation is. So you just sit like this, we put something here on the finger.
Everything being done
in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then the readings come, and then you are there. That's a new innovation. Then too, there is virtual education now. Hope it will lead us to virtual management of clients or patients. Because when you start, some people are learning online now.
That's true, especially after the advent of COVID-19.
Yes.
Learning shifted to online.
Even my PhD was online.
Really?
Yes.
All of it?
All of it.
Interesting.
Except for the defense. Yes. You do online and face-to-face.
Okay.
Yes.
So we also see, of course, in the Western world, seeing a male nurse is not new. But here in Uganda, I've not actually, I think my entire life I've only seen like one. Why is it that we have low intake when it comes to males in the nursing sector?
The nurses are very many, but the midwives, the male midwives, they are the few. But the male nurses are very many. The only challenge is the public doesn't know how to tell that this is a male nurse or this is a doctor. And that's how they take the lady doctors to be nurses.
You all wear the lab coats and sometimes stethoscopes.
Sometimes scrubs.
Yes, today mostly scrubs.
Mostly scrubs. Yes.
Okay. So why is it that we have fewer? We have many gynecologists that are male, but why is it that we have fewer males in the nursing industry?
There are many.
In
They are
the,
very
sorry,
many.
in the midwifery.
Midwifery.
Oh, the
In the
midwifery.
midwifery.
Really, I can't tell exactly, but the way Alice was telling you that it was like somehow starting
checking
with
for the women.
catheterizing a man, and you were a woman and a young girl holding the private part of a gentleman to a woman. It is not in our culture as Africans.
So there are culture
So
factors
like the
at play
men,
here.
because being a midwife, most of your life is between the tummy and the private part of a woman.
That's true.
So for the men, I think, that's what I think, because I'm not one of them, maybe it doesn't augur well to them to be all your life there.
Well, since we are speaking much as women, well, what would you say to someone who may say that, you know what, since we are women, maybe we can just leave the whole midwifery to women?
No, 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 no. We want to be literally the same. A girl and a boy, a man and a woman. We need to, because today, you see, women, we are taking on men's roles. Even men can take on our roles. So that's a better upbringing now of children, in that for us in Africa, we are so stuck to this
On
issues
gender
of,
roles.
Yes.
Yes.
That, you know, how can a woman go and roof? But today we are seeing, last time I was seeing someone on UBC who is now cleaning tiles.
Roof tiles.
Roof
yes.
tiles, yes. She's a woman. But when she tells you, like, you are like, ah, a woman on top of the house? But we need to share. Let men come this side and we also go the other side, and I think we shall move on well.
Okay. And of course, when you look at the fact that what we are seeking for is empowerment, this year's theme of Women's Day is accelerating gender equality through women economic empowerment. You cannot say empowerment and you say girls cannot do this, girls can only do this. If you're seeking economic empowerment, then you have to look at the bigger picture. And that's when women and girls get into different sectors that were widely known as for men. But now you find, like she said, you find a lady on the rooftop cleaning roof tiles, you find a lady at the washing bay. I've seen a few female conductors or border riders. I don't know how safe that is, but still, we said we want women across the board and want them to be empowered. And now speaking about empowerment, that's when I come to you, Miss Alum. How have women in the health sector been empowered over the years?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I answer that, I want to add something on what Madam Kasiri has said about the few midwives who are male who are now in service. Actually, we even have some ladies who prefer to have male, midwives to support them in delivery. They prefer male to female. They are also there. So coming back to your question, about empowerment, may you again enlighten me more about, you said...
No, the question was, how have women in the nursing sector, or in the health sector, yes, how have women in the health sector been empowered over the years?
Oh, thank you very much. In the health sector, I would even begin, let me begin from top. In the health sector right now, our permanent secretary is the lady. We really appreciate the government of Uganda for considering these genders, also to have the top, our PS is the lady. And again, come to the Ministry of Health. It's a lady. This is empowerment. The Minister for Primary Health is a lady. We appreciate this so much. We even come down to mention but a few. We also have, right now, the director of a national referral hospital. From the side of, we have two areas, Mulago National Referral Hospital, then we have Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital. These are all ladies. We appreciate this. We have been empowered. And when we see these other people down there, We are motivated, we are empowered. And other sectors, we have very many ladies in different positions. We are really empowered to up to the grassroots. In the lowest health facilities up to level 2, we have ladies positioned in different areas. So I would say that is empowerment.
Yes, that is empowerment. And also we need to recognize the women and the sacrifices, the women in health and their sacrifices during challenging times like COVID-19. I believe that this is the time when many women were on duty. And like you said in the beginning, you are mothers and also you are nurses, you are midwives. You're expected, that this is a time when families were staying together. But these ladies were actually not staying with family. They were in hospitals serving. Maybe briefly, take us through what that time was like for the women in health.
That time was not easy. I remember there's a midwife who was beaten on a border going to work.
Imagine that.
And she kept crying, I'm going to hospital to work. But you remember that time when they were telling borders not to carry people?
Yes.
She was beaten.
And yet she was going to serve, to save lives.
To save lives. Even me, myself, somewhere there, I stay in Gayaza. As I was approaching Kumbuzi, they had not given us car stickers. The traffic stopped me like for 2 hours. That you're not supposed to move on the road, you don't have permission to move. I'm like, thank you. Because where I'm going, it's like I'm committing suicide. Because where I'm going, I don't like going there, but duty calls that you have to go there. You know, that's when COVID was at the peak.
Yes.
And like you are going to, you know that I'm going to go, either come back sick or remain there and die there with a sickness. But you are going. It was like mentally somehow challenging, but you had to go.
Okay.
Once you have that passion and a love for serving, we had to go. But it was a big, big challenge. Because it was like, actually it was like committing suicide in a way that you are going where you know that you either come back alive or you are dying there or remain there. Because the moment you would go to the hospital and if they find that you are positive, you don't go back home. They just admit you. Because you will infect the other people at home.
And no one is supposed to come from home to take care of you.
Exactly.
It must have been really hard.
Yes.
So I would like for us to also look at some of the success stories in the field of nursing and midwifery. Who are some of the women that have really stood out and have really spoken up for the rights of women in the health sector?
Us here.
I like that.
And Alice,
I like that.
Here. To start with.
To start with, yes, you are
yes,
here and
yes.
you're speaking on behalf of your mates.
Yes.
I like that.
And on top of even looking after patients, we teach. Because
Yes.
we want other people to come out with the real package.
Okay, that's very good. When you say you teach, where do you teach? Do you teach in a school or you do a lot of media awareness through the media?
We do a lot of community health education talks. We do a lot of media. We go in the classroom. As me, I teach the public health nurses, and I also teach medical students, those who are going to become doctors tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
And you, Miss Alum, you also said you teach.
Yes, I do teach. Actually, for us, when you are a nurse, you are already a teacher, I would say. Like for us, with the experience of over 20 years, in the clinical area, we teach all cadres who come, including doctors, including these students who come, we mentor them on the unit, we teach them, we teach mothers who come, we teach patients what to expect. We do a lot, and even the classroom. Yes, even when, like, before I even joined teaching, I would still teach. I would be invited at times to give lecture to some on some topics. At school, we go and teach, but right now, I'm even teaching nursing students and the midwives, wherever they are. At times, when they come on the ward, we teach them. At the university, at times also we teach them. So it is all round, I would say.
Well, we are speaking International Women's Week. We will be joining the international community as Uganda to commemorate the International Women's Day on 8th March in Katakwi at Boma Grounds. So this week, as Good Morning Uganda and Good Morning Uganda Extra, we decided to put our focus on celebrating women from different walks of life. We are looking at women in health today, and with me I have two senior midwives and also nurses, that is Alum Alice Colette and Elizabeth Kasirye. They work under the Ministry of Health. I won't mention the hospitals, but yes, they are accredited and they do a good job. Now, you did mention about the challenges regarding being a mother and also a nurse or a midwife. What would you, have there been initiatives put in place for work-life balance for the nurses and midwives and overall women in health? Here we will also factor in doctors.
Thank you so much. Now today we thank government that at least the maternity leave was increased. We now stay for some time with our babies. And before I go ahead, I want to take this chance to say happy birthday in advance to my daughter. I delivered on Women's Day.
Oh.
And this young lady is waiting for her A6 results.
Is that the young lady you used to take to the labor ward with you?
No, the one I used to take to labor ward right now is a doctor. She graduated in Feb, this last graduation we had.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Surgery, thank you. Yeah, being a mother, yeah, it takes us like that. We move on. We move on as mothers, as wives. You know, also our men are babies.
The secondary babies.
The secondary babies. Most of them, at least 90%, they need that, I don't know why.
Nurturing, tender, loving care. And yet you're giving most of that care to your patients. It can't be easy. But away from maternity leave having been increased, what else has been put in place to manage work-life balance? For instance, I'll ask, one of the conversations that are taking shape in this country today is support for lactating mothers in places of work. And when it comes to you ladies that work night shift, day shift, morning shift, you're working, like you said, 24 hours. What kind of support in that realm has been given to mothers?
To mothers, to health workers?
To health workers.
The health workers, for sure, in that line, they have not been really helped. Few hospitals have a breastfeeding corner.
And yet,
we need to breastfeed.
You other people
and
telling
we advocate for exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months.
Yes.
The maternity leave is not 6 months. So we are urging government at least to add 6 months so that you can breastfeed exclusively for at least the first 6 months. Yes. Because
you can't be the people advocating. And I've always wondered, by the way, how do they do it? Because you tell me, Olive, you should exclusively breastfeed your baby for 6 months, but then you, the nurse, you do not have a breastfeeding corner. Isn't that where we are supposed to start from, in hospitals?
Yeah, but before it comes, we do expressed breast milk. I used to leave my milk in the house because I know breast milk can stand at room temperature for 8 hours.
Okay.
You do express the milk, leave it behind, and you do it with your caretaker who takes care of the baby. Usually they don't take that milk because they will help you express and they will say that this is a human milk. They don't take it. That's how we are trying to bridge up the gap of the breastfeeding corner. However, we are asking government to start putting breastfeeding corners in all the health facilities from the lower level to the referral hospitals.
Okay. So now, like I said, we'll go back to technology, and this is where it comes in. Miss Alum was very excited about discussing technology earlier. And first of all, how can we use technology to enhance women's contributions to healthcare delivery?
Yeah, thank you very much. Women, really, I appreciate women. All women there, pat your back. You are really doing wonderful things in this, you know, in this, all the country, all over the world. Women are doing tremendous work. So this, I would say, technology will help the women, especially women are there, they want some information. But at times, there are certain information they cannot come from very far. They have their roles. They have a lot of roles by the women. Somebody was asking, but what do you do? Then somebody says, you know, is a full-time housewife. Then it's like people say, that one has no job. But that is a big job.
It is a big job. Actually,
that is even more than
it is one of the hardest jobs.
The hardest job. They think a full-time woman, a full-time housewife, is not really performing, does not have a job. That is a job, really. So some of these women are confronted with a lot of roles, and they may not have even time to go and lie in the hospital. They may have, you know, they may be sick. A sick woman cannot lie down when the family is sleeping hungry. She will try and go and look for food and bring. But when they, I'm sorry to say, these men, when they are sick, they can go and lie down. Some of them. But if they are not lying down and what, but at least there are some roles. They cannot, a woman breastfeeding, a baby is crying. You cannot say, I'm sick, I cannot breastfeed. You find a woman is in bad state, but is still breastfeeding. To the extent that during this insurgency, some of the babies were found on the breast of the women who were dead. They were still feeding and they just removed the babies. So women have a lot of roles. So this technology, let me say the online, the connecting, asking things, questions over the phones is very important. And now I know Uganda, women and men are going to benefit from online. Since the time of COVID, things have changed. And now even there's virtual hospital, which is coming soon. Other countries have already enrolled for this.
Tell us more about virtual hospital.
The virtual hospital, I know, is going also to open soon in Uganda. Zimbabwe have already begun. Botswana also in the pipeline, other countries. And I know this one will cater for old people, even non-communicable diseases like diabetes, like hypertension, like epilepsy, arthritis. Questions will be handled. Online doctors will be there. And even pregnancy.
Let's dial back a bit. When you say virtual hospital, we don't have that yet.
We don't have that yet.
But the countries that you've mentioned that have already initiated it, how exactly is it done?
Oh, now they have doctors who are there online. We say hospital without walls. It's like in the cloud. So they have doctors and they have those qualified nurses just a call away. So it's like a nurse taking care of you at home. You call, the nurses are attached to particular patients when they enroll with different problems. Even pregnancy, people who are pregnant and what, enroll. So just a call away, online, you just ask any question, you talk to the doctor. Actually, I hear they are planning even the gadgets, investigations. They can help you do it. You have a problem, you just call, talk to the doctor your problem and tell you, do this test. And they are also planning, I hear, to give some gadgets to teach the patients. Like patients like for diabetes, these people live with this for almost for life.
Yes.
So they look after themselves. At times the doctor see them and like maybe once in a month. All this time they are at home. But in between 1 month, they may be having some questions. There may be some changes in their life and they want consultation. They cannot move from, like, say, up country because these are big hospital, referral hospitals who see this kind of clients. So they cannot all the time come any small thing within to what? Transport, coming to ask questions. And even you find a long line.
That's true.
Of clients. You may even not be seen that day because the clients are very many.
Yes.
So this will really help. These are helping you just a call away. I have this, what can I do? Somebody will say, okay, can you check what is the blood sugar? They'll be given I hear they give them even gadgets like this glucometer to test their sugar. They teach them. So the doctor will ask, what is the blood sugar now? It is this. And then the drugs, they may change, they may advise, and it will allay their anxiety. Somebody will, live happily. Yeah,
Okay.
that is the kind of thing which is there. Even pregnancy, those ones who have questions. I have this, I've seen this blood, what do I do? Okay, you come to the hospital. According to the parameters they will get from the investigation, we'll tell them, okay, come to the hospital. But at times they just advise and say, no, that is normal. That is normal, continue with your medication, and that is it. And somebody will continue and come to the hospital at the right time. So it will give women time to do their work, perform their work.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a good, it would be a good step in the right direction, because the world has become a global village. We are moving at a supersonic speed when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
And like you said, when we're off air, we have already embraced technology in a way with our smartphones. So why not go ahead and include them in medicine, so that we get timely advice and attention when we need it. Now, I understand that like any other profession, even nursing and midwifery has gender issues here and there. So how best can these gender issues or inequality be addressed in the midwifery and nursing professions to ensure that there is equality among the sexes?
Thank you, but I don't understand the question you're asking.
Okay, so like every other profession,
Yes.
you're going to find that maybe there are pay gaps between men and women, or maybe there are cases of, let's say, harassment. It could be sexual harassment or any other kind of harassment in the workplace, but mainly meted against women. How can we avert this and ensure that there is equality in the profession?
But for health, already there is equality, because you find that the lady, I'll start with the nurses. We have men and women in the nursing profession. We have men and women in the midwifery profession. We have lady doctors now taking on all the disciplines. As far as health is concerned now, there is that balance.
Okay.
Though in midwifery, the men are still less. Then for harassment, even the men are harassed, not only the women. Much as we are talking about women is weak,
Yes.
but we have to be open and tell the women out there who are harassing men, please, we should stop harassing the men. Like the boy child has been left behind. Yes, we are here as mothers. We don't deliver only girls.
That's true.
We deliver even the boys. But everything that comes on board is for
The girl child.
the girl child. Can we women wake up and also look at the boy child? Men, by their nature, more especially the African men, even if we slap him, he feels embarrassed to say that that lady slapped me. That lady loves me. They fear. They say, now the fellow men can say, aren't you a man enough? If she asks for love, give her the love. But the man is not ready to give you the love. That is also harassment.
The
So-
social construct has conditioned men to
Yes,
keep quiet when they're being harassed.
Yes, but as we celebrate Women's Day this year,
Yes.
can we please look at also the men to come on board and to come and also take on our cause? Yes.
Okay, as we close, I'll end with you, Miss Alum. Speaking about empowering women for socio-economic development, how can the midwives, already you mentioned some of the ladies that are already spearheading or at the pinnacle of leadership in the health sector, but on an individual level, how best can we empower our nurses and our midwives, even away from their major role of providing health care?
Yeah, thank you very much. I would say this could even begin, we should begin empowering them, as Kasire was telling us, when they are young. As nurses, for us who are there, we should really act like role models. Let them look at us and they become empowered, how we are, how things are moving, the nurse, how is the nurse? You know, the kind of service we provide. We should do it to the best of our knowledge, to empower these other young nurses, so that even girls who are at school will admire and say, I want to be like Alum. I want to grow and be like Alum, who is a what? Actually, I want to encourage all the nurses, or all the girls there and the men who are there. Nursing profession is a very good profession, where you take care of the life of these, I would say the whole community, the life of the people is in our hands. We are the first people who receive, like a midwife, you receive a baby. That is bringing somebody into life. And we're the people who even see them last when they are dying. The time of death, we're the one who close their eyes, we're the one who make the last, what we call last office. It is a nurse or it is a midwife. And that is a very big role. And really life, when you make somebody's life, you know, better, a difference in somebody's life, somebody will not forget you. For me, I remember the midwife who delivered me. I don't forget them. Even when I meet them on the way.
Your parents told you that's the midwife?
No. Yeah, okay. I mean to say.
Oh, your children.
My children.
You still remember
who conducted my delivery, yes. I mean.
Actually, even me, I remember that when I was having my first baby, I don't remember her face, but I remember her words. She said, this lady has been in pain all day. Let's check on her. And for me, that was like my saving grace at that moment. Yeah. So really, I'm just calling upon the nurses and midwives who are out there. We are like role models. So these other young nurses who are coming up, they should look at us and emulate what we are doing, and they should appreciate really. Others will want to be a nurse because of the good things they have seen a nurse has done. Yes. That is what we should really do, and that is what I'm praying for, to make things better. And the nursing profession, midwifery profession is the best. People who are there don't know. Others say, I want to be a doctor, I want to become, you know. It's because we are not connected. Up to the international level, maybe in Uganda here, we are still somehow behind. The nursing and midwifery, if you go to our neighboring country like Kenya, they are far ahead. They stand, and even up to the international level. We're supposed to be there. We're supposed to be at the policy table also. We should bring our grievances, our challenges, we should be addressed. And we see how we can improve this profession. And we should improve the life of the community and the country at large. I want to see, really, I appreciate when I go to the getting the driving permit, and the way they have improved. That is what I want to do in the nursing, to see in nursing and midwifery profession, where somebody can come and is served, and somebody goes when he's satisfied. And they don't have complaints that nurse was serving me with her mouth put somewhere. You know how some people can say she seemed annoyed, maybe she had her personal problems. And we all have personal problems, but we do not bring them to places of work. So what Miss Alum is saying is that she envisions a world where the nursing profession is one that people look at and speak about proudly. Because let's face it, when you go to hospital, yes, there are doctors, but the person concerned with your primary health care is usually the nurse. They are the ones that will administer the medicine the doctor gives. They're the ones that will ensure that you're comfortable even when you're sick. So we need to really rally behind them and support them in their endeavors. Well, I wish you a beautiful, happy Women's Week. Today we've been speaking to women in health, and tomorrow we will be speaking to other women, because this is International Women's Week. My name is Olive Monica Najuma, and Good Morning Uganda Extra ends right now.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
The cardinal role of a government is maintaining law and order, safeguarding citizens' rights and providing essential public goods and services. Throughout its tenure, the government has consistently upheld these principles. This foundation creates an environment conducive to delivering crucial social services to citizens through diverse approaches such as taxation, strategic budgeting, and effective policy implementation. A transformative education system, advancing healthcare provisions, enhancing social welfare, and propelling infrastructure growth, all of which continue to evolve daily to cater to the population's expectations. Supported by a meticulously organized network of ministries, government remains committed to serving its citizens. Coming soon on your public broadcaster, The Front Bench, your interface with the government every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with Joram Paul Sonko, only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Have you packed a punch? More with Harbour jelly and Harbour soap.
Yes, we packed a punch.
It will protect your skin from skin rashes.
More with pack.
It is a new improved Morbid Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth.
It is a Morbid Harbour jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Harbour Jelly and Harbour Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all their confidence. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Arms supplies to Ukraine and a peaceful resolution to the conflict. We heard from some of those present.
Wir verschwenden unser Geld
We waste our money on arms deliveries in the billions and on people who urgently need money, healthcare,
or even in schools and kindergartens. So they say we have to save money, or we don't have the money, and that can't be the case.
Anything that can go wrong is going wrong at the moment, especially the energy issue with the nuclear power plants, which is the main topic, and of course, the so-called Ukraine war.
Roderick Kiswetter, a CDU politician, said that the war must be brought to Russia. It's such nonsense. We need peace negotiations. We need peace talks both on a small scale and, understandably, on a large scale. People always say that Putin doesn't want to talk.